Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub, where we dive deep into the machines that move us. Today, we're looking at the legendary name reborn, the 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350. There's a certain kind of magic that surrounds a name like Rajdoot 350. It's more than just a motorcycle, it's a piece of Indian motorcycling heritage that's been revived for the modern age. The original Rajdoot 350, famously based on the Yamaha RD 350, holds a special place in the hearts of enthusiasts who remember the raw, unfiltered power it offered in an era when performance was still a novelty. Fast forward to 2025, and Yamaha has brought that name back, not just as a tribute, but as a statement. The 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350 isn't merely a retro-inspired throwback, it's a complete reimagination of what that legendary badge can stand for in today's world. And on this episode of Bike Culture Hub, we're going deep into the soul of this modern-day classic, exploring what makes the Rajdoot 350 tick, why it matters, and what kind of experience it offers when the rubber meets the road. Right from the get-go, the visual language of the Rajdoot 350 makes a statement. It's unmistakably a nod to its ancestry, with muscular tank lines, a teardrop silhouette, flat seat, and twin exhausts that echo the symmetry of the original RD 350. But unlike the old two-stroke machine, this one comes dressed in a more refined, modern fit. The tank is sculpted with sharp creases, the round LED headlamp sits within a brushed metal bezel, and the twin-pod instrument cluster merges analog charm with digital practicality. It looks like a time machine from the 1980s, but feels every bit like 2025. The paint finishes are deep and glossy, offered in shades like classic black, thunder gray, and vintage blue, with pinstriping that feels hand-laid, even if it's machine perfect. The attention to detail is meticulous. Whether it's the chromed twin exhausts, spoke wheels on the base trim or alloy wheels on the premium variant, or the slightly upswept rear fender with a minimalist LED tail lamp, everything seems to pay homage to the past while moving confidently toward the future. At the heart of the Rajdoot 350 is a 349 cubic centimeters air-cooled, single-cylinder, fuel-injected engine. It's a modern power plant tuned specifically for a character-rich performance. While Yamaha could have easily slapped in a parallel twin or chased higher power numbers, they opted instead for something more balanced, more accessible. The engine makes around 27 horsepower and 28 Nm of torque, and while that may not sound like a beast on paper, it's the way the power is delivered that makes the difference. There's a linear torque curve, meaty low-end grunt, and enough mid-range pull to make city riding feel punchy and highway cruising feel relaxed. It revs smoothly, with just the right amount of mechanical rawness, enough to remind you that you're riding a machine, not a computer. The exhaust note is another highlight. Yamaha spent serious R&D tuning the twin exhausts to recreate the throaty, raspy burble that fans of the RD 350 once cherished. It's not the scream of a two-stroke, but it's got soul. Thumb the starter and it comes to life with a deep, bassy growl. Crack the throttle and it responds with a visceral bark, the kind that invites you to twist just a little more, again and again. It's not obnoxious, it's musical. You feel it in your chest. The gearbox is a slick 6-speed unit, precise and smooth, with a light slipper clutch that makes downshifts seamless. Whether you're rolling through tight traffic or stretching its legs on a winding road, the transitions are effortless. Gearing is tuned for versatility, short enough in the first few gears for spirited low-speed rides, yet tall enough to keep cruising calm and efficient. In terms of handling, Yamaha has done a fine job of blending retro styling with modern agility. The double cradle frame feels solid, and the chassis dynamics are tuned for predictability and comfort. The front gets 41mm telescopic forks, while the rear sports dual shock absorbers with gas canisters. It's not a razor-sharp track tool, but it's not supposed to be. The Rajdoot 350 is about rhythm, flow, and connection. Suspension travel is generous enough to soak up bad roads, yet firm enough to keep you engaged in corners. It leans with poise and holds its line with confidence, offering that classic UJM, universal Japanese motorcycle, feel but with 21st century refinement. Braking duties are handled by a 280mm front disc with a twin-piston caliper and a 240mm rear disc, both aided by dual-channel ABS. The feel is progressive and reassuring. You're not going to find aggressive bite here, but you'll find control, exactly what you want for a bike meant to be your everyday classic. Tires are 18-inch front and rear, wrapped in dual compound rubber that offers a nice balance between grip and longevity. The ergonomics of the Rajdoot 350 are as friendly as they come. The rider triangle is neutral, with a flat, wide handlebar that gives you ample leverage and an upright posture that keeps long rides comfortable. The seat height is accessible at 790 mm, making it welcoming even for shorter riders. The seat itself is generously padded and has a slight tuck-and-roll pattern that adds to its retro charm. Pillion comfort isn't ignored either. There's a proper seat, grab rail, and enough space to make two-up riding enjoyable. Technology on the Rajdoot 350 is subtle and well integrated. The twin-pod cluster combines a traditional analog tachometer with a digital speedometer and trip information readout. There's Bluetooth connectivity for turn-by-turn navigation, call alerts, and music control, all handled via Yamaha's Y-Connect app. There's even a USB charging port tucked under the handlebar. These touches don't feel tacked on, they feel thought through, especially for the modern rider who wants their classic to live in today's world. Now, let's talk about the experience, the real reason anyone considers a bike like the Rajdoot 350. This isn't a machine that begs to be raced. It's a bike that makes you want to take the long way home. It makes slow rides enjoyable. It brings back the joy of motorcycling as a pure, sensory experience. It doesn't overwhelm you with speed or technology. Instead, it invites you to connect with the road, with the machine, and maybe even with your own memories of simpler times. It's not just a motorcycle, it's a time capsule, filled with modern internals. And yet, it's practical. Fuel economy hovers around 35 to 38 km/L, depending on how aggressively you ride. The 14-liter fuel tank gives a decent touring range, and service intervals are generous, with Yamaha's widespread network ensuring peace of mind. The build quality is tight. No rattles, no loose ends. This is a bike built to last, something the old RD350 couldn't quite claim. As for pricing, Yamaha has positioned the 2025 Rajdoot 350 quite competitively. The base variant with spoke wheels and minimal tech retails at around 2.29 Indian rupees lakh ex-showroom, while the top-end variant with alloy wheels, Bluetooth cluster, and premium finishes goes up to 2.55 Indian rupees lakh. That puts it squarely against bikes like the Royal Enfield Classic 350, the Jawa 42, and the Honda SCB 350. But what sets it apart is that distinct Yamaha DNA, the performance polish, the precision engineering, and the emotional connection to a nameplate that once ruled the streets. This isn't nostalgia done for nostalgia's sake. It's nostalgia reimagined. The 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350 is a bridge between generations. It speaks to the old-school riders who remember the RD350's wild charm and to the new-age riders who want a classic look with modern manners. It's not a performance monster, nor is it a pure cruiser. It's something in between, a soulful standard that tugs at your heartstrings every time you fire it up. So, is the Yamaha Rajdoot 350 worth it? If you're looking for something with character, something that turns heads and sparks conversations, something that reminds you why you fell in love with riding in the first place, then absolutely. It's a motorcycle that doesn't chase trends. It creates its own vibe, blending the past and the present into something uniquely powerful. And in a world that's moving faster every day, sometimes it's worth slowing down just a bit to appreciate a machine that knows the value of soul over specs. The 2025 Yamaha Rajdoot 350 isn't trying to be everything for everyone. It's just trying to be honest. And sometimes, that's exactly what we need. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Bike Culture Hub, where every machine has a story.